Again, the most strikeouts by a rookie in a World Series game all time. 11 of the 12 strikeouts were swinging. And now the Blue Jays improved to 7-1 all time in games started by Trey Savage. This was just his 8th career start, regular and postseason. And now they're just 1 win away from their first World Series title since 1993. All right, back here with Bobby V, Will Middlebrooks, and Lewis Brinson. And Will, the Blue Jays are 1 win away from a World Series title thanks to Trey Savage, who re-established the splitter, which is what we were calling for pregame, and he was spectacular. What did you see?
Trey the Savage.
Savage.
We changed that during the game. And he still threw the slider a lot.
Yep.
Right? He got 10 swings. He got a ton of swing and miss on that. The splitter was back, though. And he wasn't just throwing it for chase. He's throwing it for strikes. The slider, though, dominated, which I thought we didn't talk about as much or watching it because all of a sudden the splitter was back. But it didn't matter because he had all 3 pitches that were dialed in.
I mean, 12 strikeouts for Trey the Savage. I'm going to call him Trigger Trey because this man was lights out today. Execution of his splitter, execution of his slider. Didn't really need the fastball. Fastball was kind of just I have a fastball pitch.
Show me.
A show me pitch, if you will. But shutting down the key guys you needed to shut down. Shohei, Will Smith, Mookie, and Freddie Freeman. I mean, this guy came out with the mentality of, I'm going to put this city, like I said in the beginning, in the pregame, I'm going to put this city, I'm going to put this team on my back. I know you guys have my back. I know John Schneider believed that.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely. You mentioned the top of the lineup. Dodgers 1 through 4 went 1 for 15 with 8 strikeouts in this game. Wow. And if you're keeping track, we're keeping track. The Dodgers have scored just 4 runs in the last 29 innings.
That's not good.
No, that is not good.
Guys, let's face
at
it,
all.
they look dead.
Yes.
I don't know if it's 18 innings, the boredom of being in the playoffs every year, the layoff, whatever it is. There is no life or energy.
The body
in that
language
group.
is awful.
Absolutely.
Awful. You watching Freddie Freeman on deck just kind of hanging his head. I know it's 6-1, but this is the World Series. There's still a lot of baseball to play.
This is weird to see from a Dodger team that, again, has been there, done that. These guys, like you said, they look defeated as a team. I mean, only bright spot tonight was Kike Hernandez and that ball deep, but these guys look a little defeated, and it's so surprising to see this. But again, it's just death by 1,000 cuts by this Blue Jay lineup and this pitching staff and this bullpen. These guys just don't go away. It's like a gnat. They're like gnats. They just don't go away. Ernie Clement, big swing by Vlad again tonight. Bo Bichette.
Barger moving the guy over.
Barger, we didn't even talk about Barger. Barger moving the guy over when the guy got to second base on a wild pitch, and then taking 2 bases on some wild pitches. Dirt ball reads. I mean, knowing the situation and knowing my run counts. You need every single run. This Dodger lineup hasn't gotten going so far, but again, you never know. They're 1 swing, 1 inning, 1 big inning away from getting going, and you just can't stop this Blue Jay team right now.
But what it really looks like is they are competing more than the Dodgers are.
Absolutely.
That they're into the competition.
Looks like they want it more.
They're just doing it.
Yeah. They're just playing the game,
That's
right?
what
The
we
Dodgers,
see.
it feels like there's one way. They go deep, they beat you. Toronto's finding 6-7 different ways. You like that? I mix that in. 6-7 different ways to beat you, but they're running the bases.
The kids are like
that.
It's productive outs. They're not just swinging they'll take their singles. And like you said, death by 1,000 cuts. That's it.
Yeah.
Good to see, isn't it? Nice brand of baseball.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's a nice brand of baseball because what happened in Game 5 of last year's World Series, the Dodgers making the Yankees make plays. The Yankees didn't make plays. The Blue Jays flipped the script here. You saw this was some sloppy baseball. Mookie Betts with a bad throw, a ball in front of Teoscar, the uncorked wild pitches. It just didn't look like sound baseball, and the Blue Jays take advantage here of some sloppy Dodger baseball that we do not see out of this team.
Well, it's amazing what happens when you just put the ball in play and you put pressure on a defense because you run the bases hard, you work counts, you know they're going to put the ball in play, so you always got to be tense and be ready. It matters. It's an old school style of baseball that has become unfamiliar with baseball now.
Hard to measure it because it's not a data point.
Bingo.
I want to take you back to the first pitch of the game.
Oh, man.
And then the third pitch of the game, Davis Schneider, leadoff homer. Then 2 pitches later, it's Vladdy Guerrero Jr., back-to-back homers for him in this World Series, 8 in this postseason for him. 3 pitches into the game.
There in those first 2 pitches or 3 pitches. But you saw the Blue Jays again make the adjustment. We know that Blake Snell needed his fastball command back, and we know that he didn't have it in game 1. We know what spot he's going to go to. That goes to what we talked about as well in the hitters meeting. Hey, we as a team, we have an approach. The first couple batters, if he throws you that first, in that meeting, I've been in those meetings. Hey, listen, this guy is such and such percentage. First pitch fastball, down the middle, first pitch of the game. Hey, Davis, you won't. You know what I'm saying? In those meetings, hey, you won't take him deep first pitch of the game. Did that. Vladdy comes up, second pitch. Exactly where he's looking to. We talk about Vladdy kind of struggling with that pitch. Let me get my hands inside. Let me send him bridge and get the boys going.
And by the way, they were good pitches.
Great
They were
pitches.
on the corner in. And after those pitches, this is what Blake Snell did with the game plan. It's out. Like, the game plan's over.
Yes.
Like, I can't throw. He threw 23%
Scared him out of the zone with his fastball.
This is a 45 to 50% fastball guy. He couldn't throw it anymore.
We talked about it before the game.
We did.
They had to take the fastball away, and they took it away
Early.
quickly.
Quickly. And they needed to do that, and they did that. Executed to perfection by the Blue Jay hitters.
I want to remind you that the Blue Jays won both of these games without George Springer.
Yep.
Hey, listen.
I mean, this is team, and I don't want to get cute or cliche. This is team baseball.
Yeah.
This is team ball
Straight up.
at its finest. Bottom of the order guys stepping up. Your stars hitting clutch hits. Your pitchers making the right pitches in the right moment. The manager, John Schneider, in his first World Series, making the right decisions, not leaving a guy out too long in these last 2 games. Like, this is what fans of baseball, that you don't, let's say you don't have a team in the fight here. You're not a Dodger or Blue Jay fan. You're a fan of the team game. Of course, we love to sell the stars. We love Ohtani. We love Vladdy. But you heard Schneider. It's not Vladdy against Ohtani. It's Los Angeles against Toronto. And part of me, and maybe I'm a little old school, but that's the romantic side of baseball that I've appreciated through these 5 games.
You're a little old school, and it's okay to appreciate that, because that's called baseball.
That's the anomaly
it's okay.
in today's game.
Believe me.
And there's something to be said about everyone being on the same page, right? And it's cliche or not, and playing for the name on the front of the jersey and not the name on the back. That's what you see from the Toronto Blue Jays. They just want to win.
But at the same time, they've been doing this all year. And you see John Schneider in press conferences, you see these guys, hey, listen, man, this is the team we have. This is the grindy team that we have. We're going to grind out at bats. We're going to be pesky on the base pass. We're going to play good defense. And we're going to fight for each other at the end of the day. Like, you go in that clubhouse after the game, they're probably giving a bunch of high fives, a bunch of hugs. These guys know each other off the field, on the field. Like, these guys are legit fighting for each other 1 through 9. And then the guys on the bench, they know what's going on as well. They still have to pay attention just in case their number is called. And when their number is called, we get in this game. All right, we know what to do. We know what our job is. And John Schneider believes in these boys. And he's been telling us, hey, we got a special group here. And they showed it tonight.
Yep. Again.
Oh, once again.
Yeah.
I want to put this in perspective. Toronto is 1 game away from becoming the first team to go from last place to winning the World Series title since Bobby V's 2012 Red Sox and Will Middlebrook's 2013 Red Sox. From worst to World Series. And it's, Bobby, you're not worst, but that's just
Will was
the
on
fact.
both of those teams.
I was on both.
Credit. You got to get credit.
I was on both.
Okay.
The fact that we have 2 men
I'm just saying.
2 men from both of those teams. You were there in 2012.
Yep.
You were on the title team in 2013. The Blue Jays have a chance to do what y'all did.
Yeah, it's like you're in the basement, right? You get picked. Nobody's picking the Blue Jays to even go to the playoffs this year. Even with the roster they have, they didn't think they would. They thought Baltimore would be a heck of a lot better. They knew the Red Sox were going to be better. They knew the Yankees would be the Yankees. No one was even looking at the Toronto Blue Jays, right?
It's just the Vlad controversy.
That was
right?
it.
Just, are they going to keep him? Let him go. What's about? That's what.
Right.
What
and
it
as
was
soon
all
as
about,
they signed
right?
him, he took off,
Yep.
and so did everyone else around him.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man, this is what they've been all year. They've showed us our offense is potent. We have great pitching. Trey Savage just shows up out of nowhere. Now he's their best pitcher. He's their ace right now. He's the big game pitcher. I mean, and we always talked about this is a team without experience, and that's why they couldn't get past the Yankees, couldn't get past the Astros, couldn't get past all these great teams that have been there, done that. And now you have a bunch of guys that come together and play together and fight for each other. That's a big aspect.
Matters.
And now you come in and you play the Dodgers. Now you're up 3-2. And that first, I'm telling you what, game one was like, hey, guys, guess what? We just beat the Dodgers 11-4, guys. We got a chance. You know what I'm saying? We got a big, big chance. They knew it coming in this series.
Maybe their style of play is bigger than the lack of experience.
I think so, too.
You still have guys with experience. You have Springer, who's played 1 million postseason games.
Yeah.
So you have Scherzer in there, who's played 1 million postseason games. So the experience is in there, at least the voices. But their style of play is fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Before the season, the Blue Jays were listed at plus 6,500 to win the World Series.
I was going to take them.
If they pull it off, they would be the biggest preseason underdog to win the World Series since 2003. Marlins. Shout star David Sampson.
Shout out to my fish, baby.
Wait to see if the Blue Jays can pull it off.
They had a Savage, too, Josh Beckett.
Yeah. Trey Savage passing the great Don Newcomb, a Dodger himself. Most strikeouts by a rookie in a World Series game all time. Again, Savage was a savage. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 12 strikeouts. The Blue Jays with a 3-2 series lead, 1 win away from their first title since 1993. Trey Savage, have a day, kid. Now we head back out to Los Angeles. Welcoming former MLB Executive of the Year and CBS Sports Baseball insider Jim Bowden. Jim, I'm watching this game, and I'm sitting there thinking, this kid is a star in the making, Trey Savage. 12 punch-outs, 11 of the 12 are swinging. He was able to reestablish that splitter. What did you see there in person?
Yeah, there were people that were questioning, why did he start game one? Why did they pick him over Kevin Gausman when they could have started Gausman? Well, he answered to you in game 4, right? I mean, tonight on game 5, he was so dominant. 12 strikeouts, no walks, but how about the stuff, right? 97-mile-an-hour fastball. That slider, unhittable. Right? He got more swing and misses on the slider than any other time in his life. How about the split finger? No chance to hit that pitch. A wipeout pitch. Earlier in the playoffs when he punched out 11, but tonight what he did was solidify what he is. He's a future Cy Young Award candidate. He is the present ace and the future ace of the Toronto Blue Jays for years to come. And think about this. This was his 5th postseason start. He's only had 3 regular season starts. He was that good. And oh, by the way, let's talk about the defense behind him.
Yep.
Addison Barger's diving catch in right field. I mean, this Toronto defense is so elite every single night. They are so consistent. They have a plus defender all over the field, and that makes the pitching even better.
Yeah, when you see what Trey Savage is able to do, it makes you go, well, they also got an outing from Yamamoto. So where is Toronto going to get something like that? Well, they get it in Trey Savage, and Blake Snell was ineffective for the 2nd straight start as they jump on him in the first 3 pitches of the game, Jim. It's Davis Schneider on pitch 1, and then it's Vladdy 2 pitches later. And he was trying to reestablish his fastball command, and he didn't have it from the jump.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because he actually made it public what he wanted to do in this game, right?
Yep.
He wanted to establish fastball, the fastball command. It was public. So what do you think Davis Schneider and Vladdy Daddy did to start the game? They hunted fastball. That's what they did. First pitch of the game, Schneider was looking for the fastball. He got one, and it wasn't in a bad location, but he knew it was going to be a fastball. He hunted it. Home run, 1-0. 2 pitches later, Vladimir Guerrero, again, not that bad of a location, but he was looking for it. Boom, 2-0. And then what did Blake Snell do? Then he adjusted, right? Then we're mixing in the changeup, the curveball, and the breaking stuff. But it was already 2-0. And basically the game was already over after those first 2 batters. So give the Blue Jays credit for their game planning against Snell to start the game.
I'm not going to count the Los Angeles Dodgers out of the World Series down 3-2 because they could flip a switch. But it doesn't look like they can flip a switch because They have only scored 4 runs in the last 29 innings, Jim. They're top of the lineup 1 through 4 on this night in Game 5. We're 1 for 15 with 8 strikeouts. I have yet to see anything that gives me belief that the Dodgers can go to Toronto and win 2 in a row. What would you say, standing there in L.A., knowing that the Dodgers could potentially do this?
Yeah, I would tell you this. All year long, the Dodgers, to me, have been streaky, right? They lose a bunch of games. You wonder about them. Then all of a sudden, they win a whole bunch, just like they did against the Reds and the Phillies and the Brewers to get here. They're very streaky. Where on the other side, the Blue Jays have been really consistent all year. I mean, they play sound, fundamental baseball, on a consistent basis, even when they're losing games. That's not the case with the Dodgers. But are they capable, L.A., of going to Toronto? Yeah, their ace, Yoshi Yamamoto, will be on the mound for that game. He's the only Dodgers starter that made 30 starts in the regular season. He was their most consistent starter. Is he capable of beating Toronto in Game 6 and force a Game 7? Absolutely. There are the things that are concerning. Mookie Betts still only has 3 hits in this World Series. That's concerning. And I think the other thing that you learn about teams when you get to the World Series is whatever weakness you have, it shows up, right? The bottom of the order for the Dodgers, they sat Andy Paez, they put in Alex Call, okay, but there's just never traffic when Ohtani comes up. That's a weakness, and it shows up. The bullpen, what was his decision tonight? It was still close when he brought Henriquez in. It was Henriquez he decided to bring in this game. Why? Because he doesn't like any of his options, Hakeem. So again, when you look at the Dodgers, and how about the play in right field when Teoscar Hernandez dove for a ball that he shouldn't have? Should have gotten in front of the ball, right? That costs you a run. But again, whatever weakness you have as a team, it seems to always show up in the World Series. And for the Dodgers, the 3 weaknesses are what? Bullpen, bottom of the order, and defense in a couple of spots, and all of them showed up in this game tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You remember last year's Game 5 of the World Series. The weakness was present for the Yankees, and the Dodgers benefited from that. And here the Blue Jays flipped the script, and they're able to generate traffic on the base paths, generate runs. We saw Addison Barger with a ball in the dirt, hustling to second, getting to third, scoring on a wild pitch, doing the little things to win games, which is one reason why Toronto had the best record at home in all of baseball, including the playoffs. So going into Rogers Center, this is a tall order for Yamamoto, and I know he shut him down with a complete game with 1 run, but this is a tall task going into Toronto and winning 2 in a row. When you look at this series where it's at now, 3-2 Blue Jays, and I don't know if anybody outside of Toronto would have predicted that it would be 3-2 Blue Jays heading to Toronto. Maybe some people had it. I didn't have it. It's incredible to see what they've done. But what's also impressive here, Jim, is they've won the last 2 games without George Springer. What's the latest you're hearing on him potentially coming back? Because we saw him kind of rummaging around in the dugout tonight, maybe getting on base, maybe pinch hitting.
Yeah, he was going to pitch run, from what I can understand. He was ready to go, and the vibe I'm getting from the Blue Jays is they believe he'll be ready for Game 6. I think we have to wait and see what happens on the flight home, what happens on the day off, how does he swing the bat before Game 6, but I do think there's a shot that he could DH in Game 6. That's why they didn't replace him on the roster. They kept saying hour to hour, day to day. They mean it. And so I'm kind of optimistic that he could be back in the lineup. But the one thing I want to throw also about this Blue Jay team, they don't have any weaknesses up and down that lineup. There isn't a spot in the lineup where you say, oh, that player's an out, or I can pitch to that guy. I mean, Ernie Clement's got 25 hits this month. 25 hits. I mean, it's up and down the lineup. They make contact. They put the ball in play. They're elite defensively all over the field. And, they may not have the star power the Dodgers have, but they also don't have the weaknesses that the Dodgers have. They don't have those holes in the lineup. They don't have the holes on defense. They don't have the holes in the bullpen, for that matter. And I think that's why Toronto's sitting there with a 3-2 lead with a legit shot now of winning a world championship in Canada for the first time since 1993 when Joe Carter walked it off.
It is poetic. It is romantic. We head back to Toronto for Game 6. Game 7, if necessary. 2 games. That's what the Dodgers need here as they head north of the border if they want to run it back. The Blue Jays 1 win away from a first title since 1993. Jim Bowden here with us on CBS Sports HQ. Jim, thank you.
Thanks, Akeem.
Game 6 coming your way Friday night in Toronto from Rogers Center. It will be rocking. Blue Jays with 104 wins this season, including the playoffs. Look at the last couple of times they had 103 and 104 wins. And look, you need to win this many games to win a World Series. It's compiling. So, but to put it into perspective, you win this many games, you win a World Series. Last time they won 103 and 104 games, they won it all. And now they're 1 win away.
Here, David Ortiz is here, Alex Rodriguez, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. And Trey Savage did things tonight that no other rookie has done in a postseason. He set the rookie record for strikeouts in a World Series game, also multiple 10 strikeout games in a postseason, a rookie record. He was historic tonight, Alex, and I think most importantly, he never looked or felt like he was not in total control.
You're exactly right, Kevin. I don't know what was more impressive, fellas, his perfect performance tonight or his James Bond's, he has ice in his veins. It really is incredible. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it because we thought he was going to be better than today, but not at this level. And tonight, Poppy, we asked for him to pitch at all 4 quadrants, the split, the slider, and the fastball. And he had 30 splits over 10 in his last start, 12 strikeouts, 6 in the split and 6 on the split on the slider.
His split was majestic tonight. I mean, he was throwing the split with that confidence level at any time. I mean, he don't care. I mean, watch this guy right here. Bam! He was just pounding the strike zone. Like, it's either you swing and miss or you're going to go back to the bench and sit down because it's going to be a strike regardless. I mean, this guy was dominating the strike zone. And like we talk about in the pregame, he was left, right, north, south, more south than north because he know that this guy can drive the high fastball or the high split if he hang it. This guy was absolutely under control tonight, and he struck out 12 Dodgers.
Yeah, we thought it was impressive with what he did against the Yankees, right? This was even more impressive doing it in the World Series on this stage. He's got poise, he's got confidence, but on top of all that, he has great stuff. Yeah. Like, he is nasty. We're seeing some of the swings from the Dodgers. They look completely fooled, and like we said, this is her second time facing them. So I think coming into this series, Kevin, we were talking about it, the storyline was the Los Angeles Dodgers pitching against the Jays. Well, it's been the Jays pitching that has stepped up, and they've been the story up until this point.
When you talk about a team facing a pitcher for the second time in just a matter of 5 days, advantage usually goes to the offense because the more you see a pitcher, the more chances you get. This kid not only did better, but he was at an all-time, maybe his best start of his career. But what he isn't a rock thrower. He is an actual pitcher. And he's not doing it with 100. He's adding and subtracting. He only threw 29 fastballs today. But he pitched not like a 22-year-old, but like a 32-year-old. Incredibly impressive.
It's interesting. So he struck out 6 on his slider, 6 on his splitter. Poppy, we were watching obviously all together, and you said at one point, like, wow, he missed that pitch by 2 feet.
Yeah. He was. I mean, batters look kind of confused with him. When you miss a pitch by a foot like that, that means you're not seeing the ball right. I mean, this guy, he was absolutely under control. Look at how batters are missing those pitches. I mean, it's ridiculous the way he was burying that splitter. I mean, I would say this. The Blue Jays earned themselves another ace in their rotation because this kid, pitching able at the beginning of this season and performing at this level here at Dodger Stadium against one of the best offensively team is out of control, guys.
Almost looked like he was throwing a knuckleball if you didn't know. If you were just watching. That's how bad Dodgers hitters were swinging and missing.
Well, we were up in the green room saying, Kevin, you were saying, was that a slider or split? And I was trying to guess because of the speed. But when you're watching and you don't know if it's a fastball, a slider, or a split, he had us dizzy. Imagine, and he was obviously had those Dodgers. We were looking at each other and some of those great hitters looking really, really bad. And we're going, holy smokes, we're seeing something pretty special here.
You know what's amazing? So there's a lot amazing about it, okay? But he had 3 hits allowed. 2 of them were infield hits by Teoscar Hernandez. So he allowed a home run to Kike Hernandez and literally nothing else. And then you think, yes, he made his major league debut 6 weeks ago. He started this season in
A-ball, and look at this. Strikeouts by level. Okay, he's got more strikeouts in the postseason this year than he did in the regular season and in some levels that he stopped at along the way. Draft pick in 2024, who has risen up the ranks to be an absolute World Series postseason hero for the Blue Jays. You know, we were all watching in that first inning, Derek, and after the first, and I guess actually it was after the second, that's when he struck out the side, we all kind of looked and said, well, I guess the moment's not too big for him, because we had mentioned this was his first road playoff start.
You know when I first noticed that he was very comfortable, there was a comebacker to the plate. He caught the comebacker, bobbled it, and then it was like nonchalant, just flipped it to first base. Like this, the moment, you knew the moment at that point wasn't going to overwhelm him. So, man, what a job, man. What a job.
For people at home that don't understand, this kid, he was pitching A-ball this year, and he's pitching in the World Series. You have no idea how hard that is. But the one thing that I had noticed about him, his mound presence is absolutely in another level, especially for the kid that's starting A-ball. Facing the Los Angeles Dodgers here at their stadium and performing the way he did tonight, wow.
And one of the most impressive stats for me that shows a little bit about how cool, calm, and collected Savage was tonight is no walks. 0 walks, which with a young pitcher or any pitcher, you're usually going to have 1 or 2 walks. Either you're trying to pitch around someone, being strategic, you're trying to land on a certain guy you have a better matchup with, but no walks in this ballpark with 55,000 people. Wow.
I mean, it's just so good what he was able to do.
I excuse me, Kevin, I'm sorry that I interrupted you, but you went from A-ball to the big league. I want you to explain people how hard it is to escalate from A-ball to the big league and perform at that level.
Well, I think the difference is like an Atlantic Ocean. It's not a lake. It's just a different level, and I sucked at it, Poppy. So that's why I can speak about it. I got demoted 5 times in 1 year. The adjustment is just so big. And Poppy, I don't think we're doing a good enough articulating how hard it is. But trust me when I tell you, to be at this level in the World Series is nothing less but a miraculous performance.
And I think we're also talking about this. I think it may actually be helping him a little bit as well. And the reason why I say it is you're playing in the World Series. Most players wait a long time in their career. There's a build-up to we finally made it to the World Series. A couple months ago, he was in A-ball. Now, all of a sudden, he's on the mound at Dodger Stadium. So it's like everything's happening so fast that maybe after the World Series is over, he's going to look back and say, wow, what did I just do? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what is different. One thing for the fans at home, when you're in A-ball, you drink chicken noodle soup with crackers and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Here in Hollywood, he's eating caviar and champagne. And by the way, I just want to, again, as a parent, because the 4 of us are parents, isn't it great to see those parents, both you Savage parents, they were so proud, they were so happy. It was such a great moment. And it happened here in Hollywood.
Yeah, and you know, I think Blake Snell pitched a really great ball game for the Dodgers. His line maybe doesn't look as good because he got charged with runs when he came out, but he was awesome. But it was the Blue Jays who kind of ambushed him before you even blinked. 3 pitches in, it was 2-0 Toronto, and a big part of that is Davis Schneider, who was leading off, and now it's time with our Tom Verducci. Tom, thank you so much. Here is a comparison of offense. Innings with multiple runs. Blue Jays have 10 more, 3+ hits. Blue Jays have 8 more. Their offense is just better. And for a lot of this, hasn't been particularly close. And I think the consistent approach hasn't changed. We started the pregame, Derek, asking if you were confident in this Blue Jays offense going forward. You said yes. They kind of backed you up tonight with the exact same way they always play.
They're tough to deal with, man. They really are tough to deal with. Going back to even when Yamamoto was pitching and everyone was all over me because I said he wouldn't pitch a complete game. The reason why is because this team is deep. They have quality at bats. They work counts. They put the ball in play. They draw their walks. They don't try to do too much. They move runners over. They get them in. They hit home runs. They do everything. And it's really tough to pitch to them because every single person in that lineup is capable of getting on base. And that's what gives pitchers problems, is when they're going from the stretch. You know, that's when you have the big innings.
They don't strike out. They don't strike out. They can be facing whoever. They don't strike out. They put the ball in play. And for you guys to know, per game, at least 7+ batter get hit per game during this playoff. I mean, this Blue Jays offense, now we understand why they were so good during the whole regular season. They were pitcher out. They don't care if you have the best pitching staff, they're going to make you work. And they have beat Snell twice.
Right.
That's hard to think of.
Yeah.
One of the best pitchers in the whole league got beat twice by the Blue Jays this playoff.
Poppy, that's a great point. I didn't even think about it. You beat them twice, one of the best pitchers in the entire game, twice in 1 week, not in 1 year. But look, they're stubborn, they're gritty. We said it all already this month, but just to be a little bit more repetitive, one of the things I'll tell you is you give them a little finger, they'll take the whole arm. You know, they get a walk, they'll go first to third. Wild pitch, goes a few feet, they're at second. Barger advanced 2 bases without a hit. And then the pass ball, which was a wild pitch, he scored on a wild pitch, and that made it the 4th run. But it's not just the home runs, it's the contact and the foul balls. And, you know, in game 1 or 2, they had 39 foul balls, 18 with 2 strikes. You just wear a team down, man. They're like the Everlast punching bag. You punch them, they just go, and they just keep getting back up. They keep getting back up. Really impressive.
Really amazing. I mean, and it's, you know, you get 3 pitches in, it's 2-0, and you're like, oh, how did that happen, right? A couple home runs, and they did the rest damage, as they always do there. Savage with the parents fired up. What a moment for the kid. 22 years old and an absolute gem. A 3-hitter, 7 innings, 12 strikeout performance. Has the Blue Jays on the brink for the first World Series title since 1993. And now it's the Dodgers who find themselves in a tough spot with manager Dave Roberts.
I think that there's a fight in there. There's a compete that I think there's more in there. I know there's more in there. You know, we've won 2 games in a row, but again, it just comes down to 1 game. So I think that we've been in a lot of elimination games, and we found a way to come to the other side, get on to the other side. So I expect Yamamoto to throw well, but you know, we still got to take good at bats and play, catch the baseball, convert outs, and we play a good, clean game. I feel good about our chances.
And for that to happen, I think the Dodgers have to start to hit. You know, think about their World Series title last year. They started out at home, went on the road, were up 2, and felt good, and obviously finished it at Yankee Stadium. This is a little different. They're going to go on the road now to Toronto, and they're down 3-2. And their offense, you know, it really hasn't hit, Alex, since the wild card against the Reds. They've been quiet. They haven't needed it because the starting pitching has dominated the playoffs, but now they're against a team where they've needed it.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is a great team from top to bottom. 1 through 26, they have the best roster in baseball. But, Poppy, you've been preaching all October. This is a game that you have to prove yourself every single day. And right now, they're in a funk, and they got to get out of it soon because they're running out of time. But look, a few numbers jump out to me that tells me how much they're struggling. Their first 4 hitters, right? 4 for 30 the last 2 games with 11 Ks. At the same time, the Jays are hitting .324 with 6 extra base hits. But the number that jumps off the page, fellas, and you know this, when you walk, it doesn't get a stat, but you feel good. You're seeing pitches. There's a residual. Only 1 walk tonight. They're trying to hit themselves out of the slump. Sometimes you got to let the game come to you. But here's the thing that concerns me, Kevin, and this is a real thing. For the first time, I'm concerned for the Dodgers because I saw some body language out there today that I didn't like. I saw Mookie get his head down. I saw Dave Roberts' reaction.
I agree with you.
Hey, I don't want to interrupt, but just turn around and look what's going on right now. You just have to appreciate greatness. It's the last time Clayton Kershaw is going to be on that mound that he's owned for years.
Absolutely. I mean, he's one of the greatest that ever played the game, and he definitely appreciates everyone who work around here. I mean, those are workers, guys that take care of the infield. And I'm pretty sure he's just showing them love because he has been around for so many years here. And these are the people that take care of you right there, Kevin.
Poppy, I just talked to him right before we came on set, and I said that the 4 of us were so excited for him and that we were nervous for him. And he goes, nervous? I was nervous. And my wife up there was even more nervous with the family. He's just a tremendous ambassador of the game. And thank you for all the great time he's given us.
Absolutely. But going back to the subject, they collapse. Offensively that the Dodgers have, nobody would ever imagine that a lineup like that will fail like the way they have. But I tell you what, if I am the Blue Jay, I would not pitch to Ohtani at all the rest of the series because it seems like when he hit, they go. When he don't hit, they don't go. Somebody else on the lineup need to step in and take care of business before it get to be too late.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Kersh with his family over there, and you know, the thing is, we've all been there when you know you're playing your last game in your home stadium, and it can be emotional, right? And it's awesome that he gets to go out here and spend this last moment with his family. Next time he's on that mound, he'll be throwing out the first pitch. Yeah, probably opening day.
You're right.
He'll be sitting right there next to Sandy Koufax.
That's right.
What do you think? What do you think he's feeling right now? I mean, obviously the Dodgers a little bit of trouble. They're going to go north to Toronto Game 6, and love to get a World Series and another one for this team. Don't know if he's going to pitch again in this World Series. We'll see about that. But you're leaving this place, and you can't stay here for too long. You're going to get on a plane and go to Toronto soon. There's business at hand, but so many memories and so many years here, and you kind of once he crosses that line this last time, it's the end of it.
Probably didn't hit him yet.
No.
Probably didn't hit him yet. It'll hit him when the season's over with.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it's a family moment. He's spending it with his family. He's taking pictures, took pictures with the grounds crew. Said a lot of thank yous to people that you're not going to see again while you're playing in uniform. But I'm pretty sure it hasn't hit him yet because he's still got the focus and the mentality that they're still trying to win a World Series. We talk about Toronto needs one win. They need two.
That's right. They're not done yet, Kevin. But I tell you, one of the reasons why I don't think it has hit him yet is because the whole crowd here in this stadium, it's not here. And that's one of the things that kind of hit you when you had to wave to them. Because I remember my last game that I played at Fenway.
Good point.
We were playing, we did a playoff, I think it was with the Blue Jays. They eliminated us. I went in because we were hitting, obviously, and I went inside the clubhouse, but the whole crowd started calling me. And when I came out, and I stepped on that mount, and I started waving at everybody, emotions start flying everywhere because it's the last time. It's your last ride, as a player. And I'm pretty sure at some point it will hit him.
Yeah, I agree with what my guy said right here. I mean, I think it's a mixed bag, Kevin, when you think about it. I mean, it's hard to believe after so many memories, so many records, championship, that this is the last time he's going to be on this field as an active roster player. I'm sure he'll be part of the Dodger organization forever and ever. The other thing that I thought was cool, besides sharing this moment with the fans and the crowd, again, Sandy Koufax, the two most important pitchers in the history of the franchise. One is 89 years old that looks like he's 75, and Kershaw's a young man at 37. He's had his whole life ahead of him. But sharing this moment with his family is something that this is the first farewell. But he did have an iconic ending with that terrific out he got with the bases loaded to save the game 3.
Yeah, we'll see if he pitches again in this series. Obviously, who knows that anything can happen in these last two games, but absorbing his final moment as a player here on that Dodger Stadium infield and mound where he had so many great memories and wins and strikeouts. But for now, he knows his Dodger team going north of the border, down 3-2 in this World Series. And this night belonged to Trey Savage, who was sensational. I mean, 12 strikeouts, 3-hit performance, 7 innings, untouchable stuff, and puts the Blue Jays 1 win away from a World Series title for the first time since 1993. How about the manager, John Schneider? What did he think about it?
Up against Savage, and it was just a complete 180 from game 1. His command was pinpoint tonight. We were fighting that lane, and he was still getting the slider and the splitter down below the zone for strikes, and that was the difference from game 1. He had a lot of non-competitive misses in game 1, and today he didn't have that. And credit to him, that was a really good game pitched by him and Sir Anthony and Jeff. And baseball is a hard game, and it's been hard for us the last 2 days. But like we said, we've been in this situation before, like we were last year, and we can do it again.
Well, it is historic. He had a lot of records tonight. How about this? Most strikeouts by a rookie in a World Series game. Tonight topped Don Newcomb. Look at the dates of everyone else on this list, okay? You're talking, Don was the latest in 1949. It's 06 and 1931. This is something that has not been done in a very long time. I mean, you can't say enough about what the kid did. We tell his story. It's amazing. Started the season in A-ball. I mean, it's like, it's like playing tennis with your buddy, and the next thing you know, you're taking on Djokovic, basically. he's faced, just incredible. And so now it leads back to Toronto with a pitching matchup, and you would think the pitching matchup would lean towards Dodgerville, right? With Yamamoto, who threw a complete game in game number 2, is back-to-back complete games now. But Gausman's been pretty darn good in the playoffs, too, and he was good in that game, just not better than Yamamoto. So we'll give a little look into our crystal ball. Alex, what do you think? What do you expect from Game 6?
Well, it's hard for Yamamoto to be any better, but he needs to continue his excellence in his oral Hershiser impersonation. And that's what it's going to take, because he has very, very little room to operate with the way this Dodger offense is going. He's going to have to, I don't know if complete game, but he's going to have to give 7 or 8 and keep them under 3 runs, because at the end of the day, you can't expect the Dodgers.
You don't know about a complete game? Is that what you're saying?
It's going to have to be something very, very, very strong.
I'll tell you what. You can have the best offense, and if you don't have good pitching, you're not going to win game.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the best pitching, and if you don't have good offense, you're not going to win game either.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're going with Yamamoto, but they need to score runs.
That's it.
And that's the biggest issues. And they are facing Gausman.
Preach.
Gausman, he pitched a hollow game his last outing. He is right on. And then you have Gausman coming in and performing the way he does. And all of a sudden you have the Blue Jays wearing your pitcher out or battling through Yamamoto. Who knows how long he's going to be going out there. It's going to be fun to watch.
We would anticipate it being a low-scoring game, right?
Mm-hmm. One would think.
I think both pitchers are going to do great. Both starters are going to do great.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to boil down to who executes on the offensive side. Both teams are going to come up in a situation to come up with a big hit, make a play. It's who executes is going to win this game. Pitching-wise, it's 2 number ones. So we're going to see what happens from the offensive side.
And Kevin, if you're the Dodgers saying, I hope it changes a lot in Game 6, not really, because Gossage is supposed to be a better version, a 2.0 version of you Savage. You're going to get fastballs up, splits down, and very little sliders. So be ready, because you're going to get a lot more of the ham and cheese sandwich they got today.
Oh, we got ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese again.
Ham and cheese for Gausman. Against
Room service.
Yamamoto's facing the Piranhas. Al, you're full of them today. I like it.
All month, baby. Rocky IV.
You've had a lot of great analogies, but today I think it's the top of the list. I feel it.
That's my favorite book, Ham and Cheese.
That's a book?
Wait, let's rewind. Who wrote it?
I have no idea. Dr. Zeus, I
think. There we go. Listen, Dodgers offense, they've struggled. There is no question about it. They've struggled. And Mookie Betts, among everyone who's struggled, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Let's hear from him after the game.
I don't want to speak on anybody else, but for me personally, I've just been terrible. I've been terrible, and there's no, I wish it was from lack of effort. I really do, but it's not, so I don't have any answers.
Interesting. You gave your guy a pep talk for the game. You know what Mookie is. He's an MVP. He's one of the best there is. It's an interesting soundbite.
It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. Maybe maybe confidence a little hit a little bit.
I know Mookie very well. It hurts to see him answering question that way, because to me he still is one of the best players in the game. But it seems like his confidence level are pretty low right now. And of course, I don't blame him. When you don't see result, Kevin, you start questioning yourself. And everybody around, when you already showed us a superstar status, everybody started questioning you when things are not going well. Now, if I'm Mookie, I will put that all behind and come back tomorrow. You remember how we used to prepare to go to play a Little League game?
Yep.
That you wasn't thinking about scouting report, you wasn't thinking about what people say, you wasn't thinking about what I did yesterday. When you play in Little League, Kevin, all you want to do is just go and see the ball and hit it. Try to hit it. Have fun. Because if at the end of the day, that's what the game is all about, having fun. I see my boy stressing out. Of course, he's not getting the result that he used to. But you against the wall right now. You got to go for your best. You got to get that monkey off your back. And the only way you can do it, and the only way you can survive in the jungle, is just put this behind like he did after the first game, the first loss. Just a loss. We got to come back and play tomorrow. You got to do exactly the same thing right now.
I appreciate what he said because it's the truth. You know what I mean? Everyone, we've all been there. We've all sat there in front of our locker and said that we've been terrible. The great thing about the postseason is who cares what's happened up into a particular point. He's going to be up in Game 6 with an opportunity to do something special. And if he does do something special, no one will talk about his postseason prior to.
Preach.
You know what I mean? That's the way you have to look at it. This is over and done. You can't change it. Like I said, when you're in the postseason, we've all struggled. All eyes are on you. They're going to dissect every player, every at-bat. He'll find his way out of it. He's got to do it soon, but I like what you said. You just go, see the ball, hit the ball, because when you struggle, you start thinking about your mechanics, and my arm's here, and my shoulder's there, and I'm staying closed. You look for this, you look for that. It just confuses you. It's paralysis by analysis. Just get up there, find a pitch, get a hit, and everyone will forget about what's happened up until this point.
Captain, not so fast. I like what you said, but I disagree with you here. And here's where I disagree with you. I like what he said. That part I agree with you. What I disagree is I don't like the tonality he said it in. And I'll tell you why. Because I loved, and you loved, when he came after Game 1, he goes, so what? We lost. I love that. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the reason why is this becomes your first at-bat for Friday. You're setting the tone. And you got to trick your subconscious to basically say, I'm okay. It's Hollywood. You got to act. Act till this thing is over. You got to make sure that you don't let your guard down, because predators are watching and they're trying to take your meal. They're trying to take your food. They're trying to take your bacon. So say whatever you want, but it's how you say it that I think is more important.
Yeah, but even when you say it, right, because I've been there and I've said it, and I've felt exactly how he's felt. You know what I mean? And they have no game tomorrow. They have the day off. You know, so a lot of times when you answer those questions, you're emotional. You know, you feel bad. You feel like you let the team down. And that's just your body language at the particular moment. Now, fly to Toronto, wake up tomorrow. It's a whole new day.
Have a couple cocktails.
And I'm interested.
And a new place.
I'm interested. Yes, you're on the road. I'm interested to see how he is tomorrow. I bet you his personality is completely different.
And fellas, we know this is good to go on the road when you're struggling like that. We've all struggled. We struggled worse than him. And we felt the same way. So we love Mookie. We're not being critical of Mookie.
Nah.
We're just objectively talking, trying to help him and try, you know, what we would do.
We love Mookie.
But I think going on the road will help Mookie and it will help this Dodger team get away from all this hoopla and expectations.
Two things to back up all of what you're saying. In 2001, in pregame, we showed your Mr. November home run. You had one extra base hit the entire postseason up until that point.
Nobody talks about it.
No one cares.
And we'll talk about this in the pregame show before Game 6.
100%.
But offensively, our whole team did not hit in that series. We didn't. We pitched, and we won 3 games because we just scored enough more than the other team. That's another conversation. Tune in to Game 6.
Now, let me ask.
Nice tease.
Yeah, good tease. One last thing before we go to break. When does the ham sandwich come in? Toronto or on the plane ride?
I think on the plane ride. On the plane ride. We'll take some pictures.
Oh, I can't wait. We're going to Toronto.